Hey, welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. This message is going to be for my Virgo people. Cross watchers are more than welcome to watch. Just know that energy is fluid, so you may have to flip it, switch it, twist it. Again, interpret the message as the best resonates for you. Also know that I could be saying something that has transpired, is transpiring in the present moment, or will transpire in the future. Again, you're going to have to interpret the message as it best resonates for you. Okay, if you're new to the channel, anything that you need to know about the channel, such as how to find my subscriptions on Patreon, that link will be found in the description box below, such as, all other important links like how to follow me on social media and anything like that. Now, my rules and my giveaways are if you write the word healer in your comment bar and you like the video and you're subscribed to the channel, the giveaway that I'm giving right now is a free psychic reading. So again, all you need to do is like the video if you resonate with it, subscribe to the channel, and write the word healer in your comment bar. Now, if you're not someone that watches my videos regularly, you might not have heard me call your name. That's okay. Just go back to where you wrote healer if you did, and then you can see whether or not I wrote underneath your comment winner. Now, if you see that I commented back the word winner, all you need to do is reach out to me at pureenergyhealer70@gmail.com so we can set up a time to do your free psychic reading that's going to be live streamed. Again, just reach out to me at pureenergyhealer70@gmail.com so we can set that up. Okay, now without further ado, this message again is going to be for my Virgo people. Now, I always like to look at the spiritual energies first within your reading. Again, this is usually the spiritual energy is just for the zodiac that this message is intended for. Once I go into the other layers of the reading, which is what's happening on the physical realm, like what's happening, how your situation is playing out. Now, those roles a lot of times can be reversed, but usually the spiritual message is mainly for the person that this reading's intended for, which in this instance is Virgo. Okay, the first card out is Promethean Fire. Promethean Fire, there's a lot of passion. So you can have a lot of passion towards what you're doing creatively, like whether or not you're on your soul's purpose, where maybe you feel like for some of you guys are healers, and for others of you, you're in the art and theater community. And even if you are more in a conventional type of job, I feel like there is a real passion, a real love for it. And there's also a Promethean fire, could also be passion that you have for someone else. But usually the Promethean fire is the energy that stirs up within us. It's the energy that we're able to channel into purpose, is that energy that actually transmutes spiritual wounds. Again, passion, right? And passion is considered fire. And so Promethean fire is that passion. Again, we can have it stirred up in us for a number of different reasons, but the two main ones are whether we're doing something that we're really passionate about, something that we're really excited about, that we really love and we've nurtured, or again, it's a relationship. So that's your underlining energy right now, Virgo, honor. So I believe right now what it is you're honoring yourself and you're honoring this, again, your passion. You're putting yourself and your passion first. That's the underlining spiritual energy right now for you, Virgos. You're giving yourself love. It's again inferior because I believe that someone made you feel inferior. I also believe that you're transmuting your own wounds of inferiority, which were there before whatever connection that also brought this out within you. Understand our spiritual relationships, our karmic relationships come into our life to draw out our wounds, are to like actually hold up a mirror of our wounds that we have within ourselves, the parts of ourselves that we detach from, the parts of ourselves that we don't accept, that we, reject per se, which understand that's the inferiority. We don't know why we feel inferior until we can see what those blocks are. And a lot of times, again, it's love, it's passion that draws those wounds out of us and makes us look at ourselves. Otherwise, again, if we weren't passionate about whatever it was that we were going after, we wouldn't look at our wounds. We understand that it's the wounds that are blocking us from achieving whatever it is that is keeping us locked and feeling inferior. So I believe right now, Virgo, you are on your soul's path and you are, healing yourself, but not just by creating, but you're healing deep-seated wounds about feeling inferior. And you're honoring that. You're honoring yourself. It's again self-observation. So yeah, I feel like you, Virgo, have looked at yourself and your relationships, and I feel like there's been a few relationships that you didn't like how they manifested. And we realize that we're a magnet of who and what comes into our life, and that everything that comes into our life is for us to look at ourselves. And what you discovered was that you felt inferior around a lot of things, but the good news is what transmute that energy is Promethean fire. Again, in alchemy, we know that fire is the only element that can transmute negative energy. We can't just take away negative energy and have it replaced with nothing. So again, our mind won't do that. The reptilian mind won't do that. It's better to have, feelings of inferiority than nothing, because if there's nothing, then we're dead. So the mind will hold on to these shadow elements of self to protect. But what it's really doing is cutting ourselves off from love, from, again, our true self. So when we are on our soul's path and we're, again, pouring the love into ourselves, and we're honoring ourselves, we're actually able to heal. So this is where I feel like that you're on this path. Now, I don't know what got you on this path. A lot of times, bad relationships or, dark night of the soul is what brings us to this. It's not all the time happy things that brings us to putting the focus on ourselves and to heal ourselves. A lot of times we want to, acquire that emotional fulfillment and that success through outside things. So this is what it's saying. It's saying you've got to a place of realizing that your inferiority came from relying on outside things, and you're actually feeding yourself. And as you're on your journey, you're actually transmuting things about yourself. It's again of maliciousness. And so I believe sometimes we are malicious about ourselves, like we can be mean because maliciousness is that. But I believe that a lot of people in your life were not nice to you, which is what made you feel inferior. And when you are transmuting these negative energies of inferiority, what you're doing is you're becoming aware of who and what belongs in your life. So this is the energy right now. There's actually not showing up of a person, but let's ask what got you on your soul's path. Yours again, what was it? Just that, again, just time you fell into it? Was it that you were pushed into it? What is created this grand awareness is what I want to know, Virgo. Because this is very positive right now. It's again that you're in a stage of your life where you're healing and you're seeing results. Okay, Page of Pentacles, productivity. So it's again, this talks about more, again, just creating and really, possibilities of new jobs and new opportunities, because you are like really putting the time and effort into creating yourself, into your craft, into healing, into just yourself. Like I said, Page of Pentacles is I feel like there's also new ventures that you're putting your energy into, because Page is again kind of like the beginning of a journey. That person hasn't mastered their craft yet, but because it's a new position, so that might take a little bit of time to cultivate, to learn your style, to like there's a sense of you being modest. And again, because you're good, but again, it's a new position and that you really want to perform well. So your energy again is saying it's going towards you. It's not going towards anything else right now at this moment. Because again, Six of Cups, the past, it's time to let go of past influences. Yeah. So I believe that you've gotten your heart broken a few times. And in order for you to release the anger and really forgive, so you can move forward and really succeed to transcend, is to transmute these energies of inferiority. And that's through some of the people that you were connected to that were mean to you, that were malicious to you, that were not out for your best interest. And we can't do anything about that energy with people when people again put that energy onto us. The only thing that we can do is transmute it, and that means see a different perception of our situation, like turning our wounds into gifts. And a gift here would be, well, these people projected their inferiority onto me by being mean, but it was really what they felt about themselves. And through again the transmutation of again these wounds that you have, which again make you feel inferior, you're putting them into your gifts. You're honoring yourself, which is allowing you to really look at yourself, and that determines what you truly want, as well as to create new situations and really look at your situation, look at yourself differently, because without self-observation, you can't do that. We're just looking at what someone else says about us because they're mean and how they're acting. And I think a lot of times in childhood, we do that. If our mother or father or sibling or someone that we care about or someone that we look up to makes us feel inferior, and it might not always be purposely, but somewhere along the line that they did that, that becomes a wound. And then what we realize is that we're entering into every relationship where we're feeling inferior because we lack the self-esteem, but we can't acquire confidence outside of ourselves. So what this is saying is that pushed you to put the energy into yourself, and the energy of passion of creating, which when you create, part of you is finding yourself. You're creating yourself in the whole creating process, because it takes confidence, it takes perseverance, it takes, you begin to see what you're made of. And when you're channeling all that energy into purpose, is again that Promethean fire is what allows you to transmute these feelings of inferiority and allows you then to begin to love and honor yourself. But you are honoring yourself during this process, because I don't see that another person is taking precedence here. What's taking precedence is the fact of that you didn't like how you felt, and you decided to change that energy because what you saw was it was affecting other areas in your life, or you were in a relationship that you actually saw that it wasn't working. And being that you saw that it was continually not working, you said, I don't really want to continue to put the energy in here because this person makes me feel inferior. So I'm going to again put the energy into myself and start new jobs, new new projects. And again, the productivity is again what creates that Promethean fire. It creates the energy, the movement, the interaction, the who you meet. And it's again making you go into different situations and be around different people, which allows you to see yourself differently, which is also part of the transmutation process. Okay, yeah, which then what we see is, look at this, the tower, right? The tower. So it's again, I feel like there was destruction, and because it did come out upside down, it was a little bit turbulent, but I'm still going to take this more as a positive. I feel like it was turbulent because you sat in this place of indecision for a while. And then what happened is, like, not feeling good, and having all these people making you feel bad, again being malicious, and then feeling inferior made you feel so uncomfortable. And again, what we're seeing, who is making us feel inferior, we are going to, start eliminating people from our life. And that's never easy, because what you're doing is you're changing your reality. A lot of times when you're thinking certain people are going to be in your life, and when you're realizing they're the people that are making you feel inferior, and so the structures of who you built yourself, like what your perceptions are of how you perceive yourself, are built on, again, what you created in your environment, such as the people that you connected to and where you were putting your energy. And when you see that falls apart, it's very humbling, and it's not an easy, smooth process. Like, oh, look, well, there needs to be a tower process in order for something new. Again, when something collapses and it ends, obviously it does leave something new, but this is a turbulent situation. And I believe it's turbulent because we're actually looking and saying, well, why was I inferior? And what you're realizing is some of the people that you held close to you, that you felt were supposed to be love, give you love, unconditional love, and that you thought that were going to be in your life, were actually the people that were making you feel inferior. And that's the energy there. So that's a spiritual energy that's underlining this reading right now, that you're on your path, mainly transmuting these negative wounds into spiritual gifts. And that's part of you manifesting whatever you're manifesting, whatever, through, again, creating yourself. But it's been a turbulent situation because, again, a lot of people that you thought were going to be in your life are not in your life. That's again what this spiritual energy is. But let's see what's going to happen, because we're on our path. And a lot of times when we're on our path and we're just getting to the groove and we're finding our gift of style, and we don't have an attachment to what it is that we're doing, meaning we just love what we're doing. So we're showing up every day, and we're putting the energy in the best way that we know how, when we're being consistent. That's normally when things happen. Things don't happen if we're obsessive and we're judging ourselves and we're beating ourselves up and we don't like the way that things are happening. Again, then we're creating a lot of fear energy, and we're actually pushing it away. So it's, again, I believe, Virgo, that through, again, your creating process, you do, again, so there's a little bit of confusion. And there always is a little bit of confusion when we change and, again, let go of certain people in our life and we're starting on a new journey. There is a lot of indecisiveness, again, especially when we're starting a new job and we don't really know, or we're just in a new place in life, which is what I'm feeling. There's confusion. There's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different things. And this is part of finding ourselves. Like, you're a multi-talented person with a lot of options. That's very overstimulating. So in order to succeed, you need to focus on one choice. And a lot of times we don't know what that choice is. You have to put the energy towards, again, all of it, and see what grows, see what pulls to you, see what calls to you, see what feels most, again, comfortable, because we want to feel, we don't want to feel inferior. We feel inferior when we don't know what we're doing. We feel inferior when nothing is manifesting from what we're putting our energy into, right? This is a story, Virgo, that is telling me that you are healing yourself through creating yourself. So there is nobody in this story right now except for you, but the people of your past have influenced the way that you see yourself. So what you're doing is you're healing yourself. But there's a lot of different things that you could be putting your energy into, and it's creating a lot of confusion. So I'm not telling you not to do all those things. What I'm saying is you have to do those things, and you have to see what is the most comfortable, what is it, the thing that you enjoy the most to do. Because when you become in the flow, which is in the least resistance, that you're just doing what you love every day because you love doing it without an expectation of what is going to manifest from it, which is like very hard to do. But if you're loving what you're doing, you lose yourself in the creation process. You're really not thinking about the final outcome. You're just in it. You're in the present moment. And when you're in the present moment, that is when you're co-creating. When you're in the flow, you can feel that energy. That is when you're not confused anymore. You're confused because there's too many options, and it means that you're scattering your energy. And if you do that, it's going to keep you locked in inferiority, which then, like, there's a self-fulfilling prophecy that, again, people on the outside made you feel inferior, and now you feel inferior. But are you inferior? No, it's again that you need to, again, buckle down and figure out what it is that you want to manifest, where you really want to put your energy. And when you have a lot of options, I always tell people it's not one or the other, it's do all of them, but do all of them, like, again, not bombard yourself. Do them, like, there's a lot of hours in the day, so maybe a half an hour each thing, and see what grows, see what, again, fills you, feel, again, you're able to see when things are working, because when things are working, you start to attract other like-minded things and other things that are in alignment with that, that are going to help you grow and evolve more. It's, again, you can see when you put energy towards something and when it's working. So I'm not telling you to do one or the other, do all of them, see what grows, and then what grows is going to demand more time. And so what isn't growing is going to drop out. So this is how you're able to tell where you want to put your energy into. That is how you heal inferiority, because there's a sense, if inferiority, you're holding on to that, that you're saying that that's part of your identity, which means that there's part of your identity that's not really, like, developed. You don't know what it is, it's hidden. And so you're cultivating that. That's how you heal that. So there's a sense of finding yourself. And this is essential, because if you can heal this within yourself, you can attract someone that hasn't healed within them. And so, again, if you're feeling good about yourself because you've created yourself, you've mastered a lot of virtues, very of a high vibration consciousness, you're becoming, you're able then to attract someone that's of like-minded or the same type of energy. So this is why they say you have to love yourself in order to attract love. So you're becoming love, but you have to become love by healing what is the shadow, and what's the shadow here is inferior. All right, so and it's, again, this shows that you're going to be abundant. It's, again, it shows that you're going to do this. It shows me that you are on your path to doing this. Does it mean that it's an easy path? No, it's not an easy path, but what it is it's a spiritual one, and it's one where you're in a place of healing because people made you feel inferior. And that's, again, I feel like some of you grew up that way, and then you dated people that didn't give you the time. So again, if sometimes it's not intentional, And sometimes it's, again, how a person can make you feel inferior is that they just don't give you the time. They just don't make you feel as if you're worth it. And but know that no one can make you feel that way. And I feel like Virgo, that's what you realize, that you realize if this person is making me feel this way, then there's something blocking me. And what is it? And you said, well, it's, I feel inferior, and I feel inferior because I am good at a lot of things, but I'm not really developed in one thing. So there's a, again, there's a sense that I'm not abundant in, again, finances, or again, feeling fulfilled within myself. And that what you're doing is you're putting the energy into that through, again, being productive, honoring yourself. And then it's, again, and through finding what that one thing is. And for, again, this is a general reading for one of those things that everybody knows what their one thing is. I mean, for some of you, you're in the healing business. For some of you, you're a nurse. For some of you, you're a doctor. For some of you, again, everybody does something different. But when you are finding what your soul's desire is, and this, again, we know that because the Promethean fire is the fire that we can actually generate ourselves. And that's the passion that we have for life. It's how we want to contribute to life. It's how we want to connect to other people. It's, again, and when we're in that flow, no one can make us feel inferior. We are abundant, right? We are abundant. But no, there is always, like, when this comes out backwards, again, it's a change, and it's a disruptive change. But that's because your perception of who you are is, again, is coming away. If you built your perception that you were inferior because you didn't know who you are, well, again, everything in your environment that supported that belief is actually going to fall away too, because you're healing, and it's not, you're becoming a higher vibration. So unless it's going to support you, it's not going to, it wouldn't sustain. And if you're abundant, well, there's no room for anything that makes you feel inferior. And you're not going to then tolerate anyone that's being malicious towards you. And you're not going to be malicious towards yourself either, because, again, you've transmuted that, you've healed that. So I'm just going to leave that there for you, Virgo. This was more of a spiritual reading for you. No love, but there was actually a lot of love, just the love you're giving yourself, which is what you need, which a lot of times this happens when relationships, don't work out. What I'm seeing is this wasn't just one relationship. I feel like it was a number of people that made you feel this way. And so you're evolving and you're healing. And this is essential for you to attract the type of person that comes into your life. So don't be disappointed that it wasn't a love reading. This was a very positive reading. It's saying that you're on the right track. You're going to be abundant. And if you become abundant, you can attract abundance in love as well. You're raising your vibration. You're healing. All right. Now, if you resonated with this, give me a like, comment, let me know in the comment bars what you think, and definitely write the word healer if you want to win that psychic reading. All right, Virgo, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.